Okay, so today I'd like to show you through a little Minecraft server. Actually, it's a kind of big Minecraft server that I'm part of on Catholic Diocese Discord. I don't know, I'm a Discorder, but I am part of the Kingdom of Avalon, the United Kingdom of Avalon, um, and we have a ton of duchies, and this is one of them. This place is called Xandria, and we haven't built too much in it. I just kind of built a couple farms, a few houses. Over here is St. Francis Cloister, which is well, it's not really a cloister, not really, and also St. Francis, what isn't cloistered life. Um, I probably won't name the after St. Francis. I haven't given it a name yet. I'm having ideas, but it is a nice little garden that I put here, not named after St. Francis because St. Francis wasn't cloistered. And I drew I put the canticle of the sun here in English and Umbrian Italian. And there's a little bit of a farm here on the edge. It's nice. I like this little garden. I don't really want to call it a cloister. Whatever. Over here is a moderate-sized house that I built using a tutorial. I am ashamed, but it is true. I like this house because it it makes sense. You got the two parts of it. They work together. They don't get in the way of each other, and it's got such a good color palette, and nobody owns it yet. I hope to give it to somebody new here someday. Over here is the house of the owner of Xandria. I mean, it might not be his house. Depends on what he wants. I haven't forced it on him. He's not on the server too often because his real house is over here. That's his real house over there. But that's the one I made for him, and he doesn't need to use it. And then over here is a third house that I built very quickly because it's a very small house, but it's also kind of cool, and it has a little garden. So that's Xandria. You might notice all these chests here. That's because I am very good. Oops, I'm very good at getting materials for a thing. I am very bad at putting them away, putting the leftovers away when I'm done for it. Because on the server is it's a shop. You can buy basically anything in the game. Look at me. I'm buying 4 bookshelves. It's that easy, and I have effectively unlimited money. You can see in the right the balance $21,122,200. Um, so I don't really put this stuff away. I could, but I'm lazy. But anyway, that was Xandria. But we haven't gotten to the best part yet because the best part is this place called Dixie, and it is owned by the United Merchants of Avalon, which are a big company that deal in basically anything. I'm an 18% shareholder in it. And we built this city. Anyway, sorry. We built some of the city, only a little bit of it, because what happened was it used to own itself. It used to be the nation of Dixie. Um, and this part of the land right here is actually encroaching on Avalon property. They were technically breaking the law, and so that's when we made Xandria and this little wall to stay away from them and the little tower. Um, and there's a whole thing about who owns the waterways here between Dixie and Xandria. But eventually, Avalon just decided to buy Dixie. So now the United Merchants of Avalon own Dixie, not Avalon itself, but the United Merchants of Avalon is kind of under Avalon. So we basically, and also everybody in the United Merchants of Avalon is in Avalon. So it's kind of the same thing. And some of these buildings are already here, but we started our great enterprise in Dixie by building this, the Emerald Rig, like an oil rig, but emeralds. 32 Vindicator spawners are up there. They will spawn tons of Vindicators. You kill the Vindicators, and they drop emeralds, and the emeralds go into hoppers, which go into chests, which go into hoppers, which go into chests. And eventually, the emeralds make their way down to the bottom of the thing of chests. I don't know why there aren't any here. The machine might be broken, actually. Sometimes it does that. And then you take this. There's a plugin where you get this, and you right-click a chest, and it sells all the stuff in the chest for twice as much money as it would normally do. So normally, if I want to sell an emerald, I go over here, hit this button to sell this emerald for $400. But if I put an emerald in here and then right click the chest with the sell wand, it sells the emerald for $800. And this farm makes $6.6 million an hour. Um, it's very nice. I like the emerald rig, and this doesn't really mean anything. This building, it doesn't do anything. I don't know why it's here. I built it for no reason. Um, so I guess I should go through the older buildings first. Uh, this is Main Street. This was here, and this and this. These are all most of these things right here next to Main Street were here for a long time. And by a long time, I mean several months. This world is only like a year old. Um, but yeah, pretty much all that you're seeing right now has been here since the dawn of time. And by that, I mean a few months. Um, oops. You've got the horses, and there's a quarry over there. That's the Parliament building. Over there's your note board or your bulletin board. You got a house over here for somebody that I do not know at all, even though I'm here all the time. A little craft shop and the garrison for now it's Avalon. Um, a little eatery and lounge and eatery center. A little church here because this is a Catholic server. I think I already said that with the thing. Over here is just a place where you throw stuff you don't want. Die bookshelves. Okay. And then I'm not sure why this sign is here. Church Tower Hill. That's what it is. It's a hill and there's a church tower on it. There you go. And then you've got this house is here. And then you have the new stuff. The new stuff that was built recently. I built this, that, and we'll see the other one. That, regrettably with tutorials. I didn't really want to use tutorials, but I have to because I'm bad at building. And I have gotten better at building because of the tutorials, so I think it was justified. Anyway, this house right here is the biggest one. I built it the most recently, yesterday, Sunday, February 23rd, 2026. And it's nice. Nobody owns it. This one is kind of sort of mine. I haven't had really a home since I quote unquote moved to Dixie because I used to live in Corazon and now I don't. Now I still have a house in Corazon. I still technically am a resident of Corazon, but I hang out here all the time because I want to build stuff and make this place better. I haven't been to Corazon in a while. So this is kind of what I consider my unofficial home because when I have random stuff, I throw it in here. Most of it's axes from the Emerald Rig. Um, Over here, you got the first cell wand I had, my first sword that I got from the King of Corazon. You got a little enchantment setup and a little cool walkway here. It's very nice. I like all the people that make tutorials. It's a very wholesome community. I like this house. More chests with random stuff in them. And then over here, we got two more houses and a few farms. This house I built pretty recently. Nobody owns it, but I like it. Honestly, I probably didn't need a tutorial for this one. This one's pretty simple. And then over here is another house that I really enjoyed building, because it's so country and aesthetic, and it's right next to a farm. And a guy named Green Freezer owns this house. I'm not gonna sleep in his bed. That's indecent. And then Green Freezer also owns the farm now because he owns the house that is by the farm. And it's a lovely farm. I love sugarcane farms. You can't sell sugarcane for that much money, but it's very satisfying to knock down all the sugarcane. And this house is great. I'm glad for Green Freezer because not a whole lot of people play in this server. I wonder where he put all the sugarcane. I had a double chest full of sugarcane. Maybe put it in the disposal room over there. And then we got the sugarcane farm and melon farm and a huge wheat farm. The people on the server love making wheat farms. Um, and then we have, yeah, like I said, you got FedEx's property, and then this is it. I don't know what the tank is for or whose it is. And then over here you got the Shire, which are hostile places. We don't like the Shire here. They're not super friendly to Avalon, and at the same time, they don't want any conflict. So it's whatever, man. Around 14 blocks away from here, I'm not going to go all that way, but around 1400 blocks away from here is Corazon, where I used to live and kind of still do live, sorta. Um, and then around here somewhere is Alban. Actually, I think it's in this direction. And Alban is the capital of Avalon. It is a huge city that everybody loves, and it is amazing, and definitely has not caused any disruptions. Um, and Avalon is the biggest. We're almost there, I think. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is Alban. We're here. I don't come here as often, but it's Avalon is the biggest kingdom with the most active participants. Because again, not a lot of people play on it, but there are like four, maybe four. I don't know. Not a whole lot of people who play on in Avalon, and a couple people who aren't in any kingdoms. But Alban it's got a port here. This right here, the AS Camelon Avalonian ship. I don't know. Camelot is what it's called. It was built by the MacDonald, who was the old king of Avalon, and then he stopped being the king. He resigned the kingdom to Otblock. Otblock. But it's got so many, just various buildings for such various purposes. It reminds me a lot of Ostia from ancient Rome because it's got all the port stuff and it's got cool castle-looking things and churches. You know, look at all this great stuff. Beacons, which kind of break the vibe. A happy ghast is there for some reason. You know, it's such a big city, and I'm not convinced I've seen all of it. This is wartime stuff. But it's lovely. I this is I don't think this is in Alban. I think is it Cola Salesman? This might be part of the Republic of Catholic States, actually. I'm not sure. Only one person is still here from the Republic, and he is the king of the Republic, and he has the most money and is incredibly wealthy and powerful. And he's it's very nice. I love Alban. And then you've got more places. Do I want to go show you more places? I think I do. I want to show you this place first, though. No, I don't. This is not the place I was thinking of. I don't know where Treep's place is. Is this Treep's place? I think it is. Yeah. So this is the home of Treep, who used to be the Prince of Duskmere or Duke of Duskmere, actually. And then he left for unrelated reasons to the Minecraft thing, and there definitely wasn't a war. I promise. um, and his house, somebody stole some of his stuff at one point, but this is his house. It's a very simple house, and I like it. And I miss Treep. We all miss Treep, except for yeah, the people who fought in the war. Anyway, it's nice. I like this place. I could show you. Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna show you the mini game that I made. RCA Box TV Long Way Live 8825 Library. I don't know what this is. What this place is? Old Abbot. Long May You Live. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is bringing memories of old days gone by in the server. But sorry. Let's go to nope, wrong place. Player warps. My warps. Creaking games. This game is simple and straightforward. Nobody on the server has ever played it before. But I like it. Now it's not nighttime, so unfortunately I cannot play it right now. But the basic premise is it's gonna spawn a bunch of creakings because that's what creakings do. They creak, and you need to get rid of all of the creaking hearts before they kill before the creakings knock you off the building. And you only have a little bit of stuff. This is the stuff I didn't refill it, but it's like you get like iron armor. It's not that good. And now that I think about it, Creaking Games is right next to Corazon, so I'm gonna fly to Corazon. I went in the wrong direction. Did I? I don't think I did. Yeah, I went in the wrong direction. Uh, here is Corazon, the old town. This wall is, I guess, my pride's creation on this server. If not the little garden. The garden's really cool. I didn't need a tutorial to build that one. Um, this place is Corazon, and it was built right next to Sacred Heart, the Sacred Heart Church over there. I'll show you it in a second. But it's where I started out, and it's where I eventually left for greater things. And hopefully I'll come back someday to here to do more things here. Because it's nobody really lives here. I mean, the Duke of it, Prophet in Reverse, he is less active. He, in fact, not really active at all. And there's two other people who live here, me and Kari, who doesn't play very much either. But we do have some cool things. It's not like there's nothing here. There's my house. Um, I'm the guy who introduced cherry blossoms to this part of the server. This is yeah, I lived like this. I do. This is Treep stuff. This is Treep stuff that somebody stole, and then he still has some of it. It was very rude of him. But yes, all of my stuff is very unorganized because nowadays I have a bunch of money. I can just go to the shop and buy it all. This is my bed. It's a coffin. Um, all the stuff in here is kind of worthless. And then you got these street lights I invented a couple years ago. Are pretty simple. Do 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 do. Okay, this is a variation of them that I don't usually use. Nope. Okay, this is not the piston version. What was I saying? Yeah, so the daylight detector turns on the thing. Oops. Let me show you the piston version because it's cooler. Piston. Nope, that's not right. I need a sticky piston. And redstone lamp. Redstone block. Why don't I have a redstone block? There is no redstone block here. Okay. Maybe it's an ore. Yeah, it is. Okay. I have used these in many builds before, and I really like them. So you get redstone, piston, and then you get daylight detector, activate this, and a block of redstone right here. Oh, that's right. They can only activate in... There's a rule about these pistons where the pistons don't work properly unless they're in claims, I think. So I can't show you it, but you get the idea. The daylight detector makes the sticky piston put the redstone next to the redstone lamp, and it activates as a street light. The walls here that I forgot to elaborate on, I built them in the wartime, Um, and it was because we defeated these rebels in the war, and they fled. What is going on here? Okay. They fled, and we were worried that they'd flee to here because this is a small place, kind of out of the way. You know, most of the builds are very close to spawn. This place is not. Um, and so I built these big, big walls. I never finished them because I didn't have time, but it never ended up meaning anything because the people were peaceful and stopped being mad at each other. And so I damaged these walls. I've never been able to take them down completely, and I don't really want to. I took down the smaller wall that was around here because it was ugly. Um, but was able to knock down parts of it. I was able to knock down this bit at the end here. There's a big, big thing. Somebody get rid of it. Did somebody desecrate my build? Gina. It might be Gina. Well, there was a whole thing where there were bits of debris that were on the ground because I knocked down that part of the wall. But it looks like somebody changed that fact to be false because he or she wanted to build a train. Why is the streetlight not working? There you go. And then I was able to knock down pretty much the whole part of this corner because I had been building a big tower here. Big tower, but I knocked down some of it, and now it's like this. What does the sign say? What does the sign say? The remembrance, in remembrance of war, for all intentions of peace. Creeper. Um, Honestly, that just makes it look cooler. And then you got the roads. You know, this part of the train hasn't been going yet. It's gonna go to Sacred Heart eventually. Over here, there's it's a kind of a gold farm, but it's not very efficient. Prophet built it. Oops. Where's the button? You go up here, and then the piglins come from the nether portal into the kill chamber, and it doesn't really work very quickly. It's not that good. And then I believe it was Prophet who was trying to build a dripstone farm, but neither Prophet nor I know how those work. So yeah, and then in here is the train station. Yeah. And then you've got this big building was built by Prophet for, you know, he sectioned it off into parts so that you could make different things with it. Over here, I built my diorite farm. Tons of diorite that I can sell, but when I made it, I didn't know that the shop existed, and I can just /sell all diorite. So this shop is useless. And then you've got over here where's the Joyful Friar? Here it is, the Joyful Friar, which is Kari's little pub that he built. Bottle of the Turtle, Potion of the Turtle Master. Yeah, that's whatever that means. It's very nice. I like this place. Could use a little bit of texturing, but it's nice and chubbly, as the Brits say. Over here is Kari's house, and then more little bits of that, and then you got the big Parliament building, where the Corazon people. That's the Corazon flag, by the way. Where the Corazon people meet in times of urgency. You got things. You can really just steal all of this if you want. But this is a big table, and this is where the different important people sit when it's time for. This is not my seat. I don't have a seat here, actually. I suppose it would be this one. And you got little things here. This is just like a multi-purpose place for the important people in Corazon. And then somewhere around here, oh, this was a back when the wall was here. There was a smaller wall here. That was like a keep wall to keep all the important stuff in here. Not my house, safe. This was a station where you get in here and they identify you and make sure you're fine and you're not a rebel. Um, there is a whole lot of good lore. Oh wait, no, this is the corner. This is the corner of the keep wall that I knocked down. It wasn't part of that. It's over here. It wasn't part of the Great Wall. It was part of the keep wall. Um, it's very nice. I like all the texturing that I did here. On accident when I was hitting the wall down. There's a portal there, and I don't know why, but that was Corazon. Um, yeah, that was where I used to live, and where I go here sometimes, kind of seldom. And one day I will build more stuff here that is cool. What else? What else is a cool place to go? Hmm. There's the nether roof. The nether roof, that's right. It was built by Rat. So Rat was actually one of the rebels. He rebelled against Duskmere and Treep. And Treep and his fellows won. And that was me. I assisted in that. That happened in August. Um, and one day I might build something up here on the nether roof. But I don't know where I'm going right now or why I'm moving. Okay, that was a good showcase. Really, the only things I wanted to show you were Dixie and the Dixie stuff. But I got off track a lot. I showed you Alban. I showed you Corazon. You should come to CDD. Uh, what is that? That sounds like plutonium. You should come to the Discord server, and by means Discord server, the Minecraft server. You should do it. Come, come. I dare you.